Welding again, yeah! Oh, that laugh always means something bad's about to happen. I'm just unpacking the car after having a great time at Collie, with a few of us all thrashing about in our little swarm of Hyundai Excels. I love that thought. A swarm of Excels all beating around the Collie racetrack, having an absolute blast. The braided brake hoses versus the standard, the stock old rubber things. You put your foot on the brake, and the harder you push, the more brake pressure you get. It's awesome. There's no sponge underneath the foot anymore, which is really good. But I am going to pull them off, have a look at the brake pads, make sure I haven't roasted them. They do get very hot in these little XLs, especially when there's no cooling up front. So I'll check out the pads haven't fried. I'll also check all of the hose connections as well. I did actually have a little bit of a leak just where the thread attachment from the back hose connects up. The other thing I want to check out, because we haven't had a good bash in it since I put this lovely piece of bar work in here, so I'll go around with a couple of spanners, make sure all these fasteners are tight on the roll cage, make sure nothing's shaken loose there. But another quick job I want to get done on the interior is fill this space up here with another seat. I've got a seat to go in the passenger side here, so we can give some friends and family a bit of a experience of the XL2. This is where I stopped the modification process when I was making up the brackets for the Cobra seat rails. Hang on, there it is, sitting on the roof of my Beetle. But for the other seat that I have stashed away here that I want to put in the car to allow the likes of my friends, Frank, Jamie, Brad, let my dad have a drive in it, but also my wife, my son, my daughters. I still want the seat to be able to slide backwards and forwards to accommodate people of a different height. But my mate Sam sat in my car the other day, and the roll cage basically sat right at his eye line. So I want to take these seat rails, and you can see here they actually unbolt. This is a bracket I'm going to see if I can channel my inner Nick, Project Binky style, put a different kind of bracket on these and maybe have the seats sit lower in the car. I'm over at the spare car, which is what I'm using to template out how I'm going to put this second seat in, or passenger seat, or alternative driver seat, whatever you want to call it. I had thought of chopping this out. So cut down here, cut across, which a lot of people have done. It's not something that hasn't been done before. But my Cobra seat that I'm going to be racing with this year fits beautifully on the stock rails, slides backwards and forwards for my son and daughters to be able to drive it. And if I can avoid chopping this bar, I can use that as it is set up with the sliding rails. So I've come up with a bit of a template idea with the good old cardboard. As an alternative. It's about time to turn my cardboard template into a steel seat mounting. Some of the free scrap bits I've got lying around the house include this chunky, looks like about a 7 or 8 mil thick slab of steel. Quite difficult to work with, I would suspect. I picked this up from the local tip because it's a fairly solid looking piece of angle iron, and I thought that could come in handy, but not for this particular job. There's another option for some free steel to use in my seat mounting, and it's an old barbecue plate. No. So I've picked up some 3mm plate steel so that I can make up my seat mount. I get to play with my welder again. Oh, that laugh always means something bad's about to happen. now I've taken my bracket for the extra seat in my Excel from the cardboard template to cut out pieces of steel. Sorry about the short shorts. It's bloody hot outside, alright? Give me a break. So there's my bracket, all bent out of steel, and the next step is to take these long sections, which will run underneath the seats, and it'll have 2 bolt holes that the seat will bolt into. So yeah, next step is a couple of holes in these rails. Not dead yet. So I've cut these out so I can get a couple of tack welds on the bar that runs across the bottom section of the bracket here. But I am going to just notch out that little bit there, because where this connects up to the front of the seat, the bolt head that attaches to the original fixing point in the car. So I haven't modified the car whatsoever with this bracket, which is awesome. So, but I've just got to notch that out a little bit, and then I'll be able to weld all the way around there, making it nice and secure in the front. Oh, roosters. Jeez. My bracket has the small little notch taken out of it, so the bolt can fit up to the standard seat rail fastenings. And I'm ready for the next step. Time to get my welder out. Welder, gloves. I got my wire brush. What else is over here? And angle grinder to hide all the mistakes and the horrible welds. Funky little pickaxe. Oh. And my sexy face mask. Woo! Meep, 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 meep. No COVID getting through this sucker. No practice, full send. I keep setting shit on fire. Oh, every time I see smoke now, I'm stressing out. Far out. Whew. As a novice welder, this stuff is stressful enough. Without setting the carpet on fire as well. Whew. I'm glad I was ready for it with a damp cloth and a bottle full of water. You can't see it, but the hose is just down over there as well in case things get really out of control. And the fire extinguisher is just inside the window. What do they say? Do something every day that scares you to death, makes you pee your pants a little bit, and causes you to need to change your underwear. Ta-da! Hats off and big respect to everybody who's a professional welder. I did eventually end up staying up quite late a couple of nights ago on the welder so I could get this thing done. I was very happy with how it came out. Dialed my little welder up from, quiet restaurant voice to, Bathurst brawl, to get a little bit of more heat in the weld. And I'm stoked with how they came out. I'm looking for other jobs all over the house now that require welding, because I'm quite enjoying this. all except for the part where I set things on fire that shouldn't be on fire. Didn't enjoy that very much. So now I need to take this small timber backing board, which represents the 4 holes at the bottom of the seat. I can move this up and down and re-drill those 4 holes, which will then mean that the seat can be adjusted forwards and backwards. It's in and it fits! Ready for me mates to take this little nugget for a spin. It fits beautiful. It's a little bit further back. There's not a lot of adjustment going forward because of the way that the seat rail attaches at the very front. But it works so well and it sits so much lower than using the stock rails. Easily giving myself another couple of inches clearance in the car. So I guess the next step for this seat in the car is to see how many of my friends can fit in it and go for a drive. There's one other thing I want to try and do with this particular seat, and that's actually have it fit both in the driver's side and in the passenger side.